Why didn't my wedding turn out like I thought it would on Pinterest? And that's because you didn't use your Pinterest. Let's talk about getting your pretty little Pinterest self together so that you can actually use it in your wedding planning process. Hey there, blushing brides. Welcome to my channel. I'm Kyle James, and today we are talking all about how to organize your Pinterest so that you can actually use it in your wedding planning process. If you're anything like me, you've spent hours of paid time at the office scrolling through millions of beautiful wedding pins and adding them to your secret wedding planning board. There are just so many good ideas, and you have to be prepared for the moment that that rock hits your finger. Fast forward, you've been engaged for like a month and it's finally starting to feel like real life. So you go into your wedding Pinterest board all excited to start planning, and boom, it hits you. Pure Pinterest overwhelm. Every bride gets this at some point, and it usually leads to a full-scale, how the hell am I gonna do this wedding planning meltdown. Let's not do that, and if you've already done that, let's fix it so we can avoid future breakdowns. So whether you're in the secret pinning pre-engagement stage or the let's elope, this is way too much stage, cleaning up your Pinterest is the first step to getting yourself together and taking on your wedding planning like a pro. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a clean slate, a fresh new wedding planning board. Don't do anything with your old board right now. We're gonna leave that alone for this moment, but we're going to create a fresh slate that's your brand new wedding planning board. And then within that board, we're going to create sections. There are 7 sections that need to be in your board. The first section is going to be the wedding theme and scheme. On this board, you will pin all color inspiration, floral decor, basically the overall feel of the wedding you're going to want to put in this board. And don't rush to write this down or anything. You can just sit back and relax and watch. I'm going to include a link where you can download this Pinterest blueprint, and it will show you each of the boards and what needs to be on them. The second section is going to be your dress and your bridal beauty. So this is where you'll pin all of your dresses and also any hairstyles that you come across that you love, and makeup as well. The third section of this board is going to be the bridesmaids. So in this section we can do our bridesmaids dresses as well as bridesmaids beauty, hair, makeup inspiration. Anything bridesmaids is going to go in this section. And then the fourth section is going to be called for the guys. So this is where you're going to pin your groom look inspo as well as your groom's men. You'll also do your boutonnieres here, and I would do groom's gifts as well. I don't know how involved you're going to be in that, but it helps to give your guy some ideas if you need to. I would also pin any ideas for your gift to the groom here as well. The next section is going to be labeled for the guests. So in this section will be all of our paper goods. So our invitations, save the dates, escort cards, basically any of that paper stuff that you're going to be giving to your guests. I would also suggest putting wedding favors in here, and then if you're going to do any like out of town baskets or anything for people who are coming in out of town, then you can also put that in there as well. The next section is going to be your food and drink and cake. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Anytime you come across any yummy inspiration that you want to add, be sure you add it to this section. But you'll also want to do like your specialty cocktails if you're doing those, stuff like that. This section also includes bar and buffet decor, so if you plan on doing any floral there or any signage, you'll want to add that to this section. And then also any cake table inspiration or dessert table inspiration that you'll want to add here as well. And then the last section that we're going to do is the photographer shot list. This one is super important to start pinning to right away. Anytime you see a super cute coupley photo come up that you want to do, you want to make sure you add it to your list so that you can share that with your photographer, even if it's something like that your friends post on Facebook or something from one of your other friends' wedding albums. Be sure that you're adding to this list as much as you can so that you have plenty of ideas for your photographer so they can kind of get an idea of what your style is and make sure that they do that for you on your wedding day. So those are the 7 sections that we're going to break this board down into. This might seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually going to be super helpful for you because as you're planning, you're going to just be working on one piece at a time. And it's so helpful to just be able to look at your inspiration for that one piece instead of like when you're trying to work on catering, you get distracted by dresses and stuff like that. And it also makes it less overwhelming because you're just focused on one thing at a time. You don't have it all coming at you at once. So once you get your new board set up, then we're going to go into your old wedding board and scroll through those pins, find ones that you still love and you still want to incorporate, and repin those to their correct section on the new board. And then anything that doesn't make the cut, you can go ahead and delete that board. We don't need that overwhelm in our lives. Like I said, I'm going to link this Pinterest blueprint below so you can see exactly how to lay everything out and what should be in each board. And then once you have your new wedding planning board all set up and your pins put into the right place, I hope you feel much better at this point. But there's a few things we need to do so that we can stay feeling organized and amazing and actually continue to use this throughout our planning process. So the first thing is you need to go through our board from time to time and delete pins that no longer speak to us so that it doesn't just collect a bunch of junk. I suggest doing this before you go and meet with your vendors. So if you're about to go meet with your florist, you'll want to scroll through that wedding theme and scheme board and pick out the ones that really speak to you, and then delete the ones that you're like, no, that doesn't really feel good. You just have the stuff that you really want on here, so that you're not scrolling through and getting yourself confused and your vendors confused on your vision. The final step to this Pinterest process is to pin your favorites to the top. Anytime you find something that you love, that you know you want to incorporate into your big day, you'll want to pin it to the top of the section so that you know for sure that you won't miss it. It's like at the forefront of your mind and it will definitely get incorporated into your planning. The other thing that you're going to definitely want to pin to the top of your boards is anything that you've purchased. So when you purchase your dress, you'll want to pin that to the top of your bridal beauty board. If you purchase decor or anything from Amazon or Etsy or anything, the second you hit that purchase button, you're going to pin that photo to the top of its corresponding board because it's important that you know what you have, first of all, so that you can be sure that your future purchases really go along with the look and the stuff that you already have. This is also super helpful to show your vendors as well when you're describing your vision, especially like your florist. You'll want to show them the decor that you've purchased. Your hair and makeup team, you'll want to show them your dress so they can help you, give you ideas with that. Everything kind of goes together and you want to make sure it all flows together. So keeping your boards super organized, keeping old pins out of there that don't matter, and then pinning stuff to the top that you're definitely going to do or that you've already purchased. This will help you stay super organized. It will help you keep a clean and unstressful vision of your wedding. We spend so much time creating these Pinterest boards and everything, and they just get too overwhelming, and then we don't even use them. And then after, we're like, why didn't my wedding turn out like I thought it would on Pinterest? And that's because you didn't use your Pinterest. So be sure you grab that Pinterest blueprint worksheet below. Give this video a big thumbs up if it was helpful, and share it with your other bride friends. Hopefully they'll find it helpful as well. Also be sure that you're subscribed and your bell notification is turned on because I have so much good wedding planning stuff coming up. You definitely don't want to miss it. And we'll see you in the next video. Happy planning!